Hi Pisces, and welcome to your monthly reading for July 2020. This is for Pisces energy, so it can be Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, other planets, placements, and house energy. It is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate. Take what resonate, throw away the rest. Never ever try to make it fit if it doesn't. Also, please like, subscribe. I would appreciate the support. The channel is still almost brand new, and also. Third note, I'm doing free pop-up readings in July, and I'm also giving out a free personal reading at the end of the month. Check out the description box for more. There's a link to a Instagram account I created if you want to check out when I'm doing the pop-up readings. That being said, let's get into it. First and foremost, I am going to pull out a few cards here. Going from June into July, alright? And then I'm going to pull out a Celtic cross to look into the situation more deeply. Let's see if I connect with you, Pisces. Please be patient with me. I had a little trouble connecting with the Capricorn coming into this. Well, no, I didn't. It was just... I love my water signs. You're easy to connect with. Let's get to it. Pisces, July 2020. Are you also going through this heavy energy, huh? Releasing aspects of yourself, possibly shadow work, doing shadow work. The Five of Cups. The Seven of Swords. The Four of Cups, exact same position as the Capricorn. Two of Wands underneath here. You didn't really Cappy. There was just some similar cards here. Let's dive into it. So in June, you had some kind of loss here in June. There was some kind of resentment here. Or you possibly let loss take over. Can't call Cappy, Pisces. Some of you could actually literally have experienced a loss. If not, you were just stuck in a very sad energy. Coming into June coming into July, I think I'm gonna look in with the tarot here because this is a little bit of a weird energy. I think, have there been a lot of people in your... Please let me know this, Pisces, because I picked up on this previous... There may have people whispering in your ears here, being very strategic, telling you, just basically reinforcing this energy of loss. An energy of feeling stuck, of constantly looking towards the past, clinging on to the past, even though you should be looking forward. And it really sensing that it's time for you. It's like getting this kind of a spark, enlightenment popping up here, that you are starting to cut out shit and be strategic in terms of yourself, meaning that you start putting up boundaries, starting to realize your own, starting to appreciate your own intelligence, that you have a mind for your own. You don't need other people telling you who you are. But that is the kind of energy. You need to be aware of deception. There's some kind of deception. If there's been deception in June, you're being asked here to, in July, be aware of it. That there are not people going around in your life that are actually keeping you down, keeping you stuck. Be aware of that. So the theme here will be to reevaluate, possibly reject connections that are not, or attachments that are not meant for you, because they are just keeping you stuck in this feeling of loss. Alright, Pisces? Underneath it all here we have love. It's time to move forward with love. Alright? Making plans. You could have a Mars in Aries, you could have a Mars in Scorpio, Moon in Aquarius, and Moon in Cancer. You don't have to. But I'm just... Mars and Moon energy, fine. So that would be a masculine energy versus the masculine energy trying to take control of the situation versus your intuition, your feminine, your moon side, your deep emotional state. Let's pull out a energy card here. Remember, if there's deception in your life, Pisces, you have the power here to to know for yourself. Look at this bloke here. He's got some scars, right? His challenge is not to run over people, but actually that would be the challenge here, not to let people use their scars to run over you. Put up the boundaries here, mate. Yeah, but you have the power here to walk away from what does not serve you. Storm warning. Coming out like this. Strategy coming out crazy like... Alright, we're gonna take... Then I'm gonna take this one here. That's underneath an angel of love. Okay, Pisces, things came out a little bit crazy. What we're gonna see first and foremost, storm warning. There's a storm warning. Alright, so that would speak to possible deception going on here. There's a strategy here. I'm basically sensing that if you have had people here who have been sneaking around in your energy, you are starting to realize that and cutting it out to avoid these kind of storm warnings. What we have here is some kind of love. You could have, it could be a time here for you to also cut out karmic ties. There could be a woman, or you could be a spiritual guy, or you could be yourself, who are starting to kind of become aware about, you're becoming aware about the possible issues in your root chakra, meaning your sense of security here. That you may be clinging on to attachments because karmic connections, right? If there are sneakery going on, it's karmic. You're kind of becoming aware of that. Could be your spiritual guidance. You need to find the time to rest and rejuvenate, to reflect upon these things, because there is also love around you. Could be self-love. Let's dive into it. That came out very strongly. I'm gonna pull out some tarot here. Be careful not to cling on to unrequited love situations, Pisces. Some of you could be doing that. Someone could also be in love with you where you are not. Some of you Pisces, some of you could actually be in a cycle where you just stay put in situations where you don't really feel love for it, and that's self-deceptive. But you do it because, I don't know why you're doing it, because there's, but you allow yourself to be mistreated that way. I'm basically just sensing someone here in your life, in your circumstance, trying, actually, it could be a friend, could be a family member, could be a lover, could be a partner, could even be a coach. It could even be as simple as basically a psychologist, a coach, someone that is supposed to be very intelligent. Some of you people need to be aware of, especially if you're spiritual. I mean, I am educated, but I know the danger, so, I mean, not. I have a educational degree, blah blah blah, and I know the box thinking of that. The moment you start talking about anything spiritual, people will automatically assume you're crazy and walk away. Well, in academic circles, why did I even put that up? So, no, they will ask you to abandon the ship and start working on box thinking. That's actually kind of energy that I'm picking up on. Not really understanding if you have different perspectives. Right, now we're gonna pull tarot. See, I'm actually connecting well with you Pisces today. The Capricorn was difficult to connect with. Knight of Cups, the Three of Wands, Two of Pentacles. Are you dealing with a Capricorn? They came out like this, and I can't, it's like they belong together. It's the Two of Cups and the Devil energy. I want to keep them together. I can't get myself. This one happened too. Okay, so let's get to it. Underneath the deck we have Page of Wands, meaning communication. Yes, definitely communication here. Fast, passionate communication. Let's dive into it. We have in the middle of the spread the Knight of Cups, crossed by the Three of Wands. my roses are. Yeah, he's holding a little bouquet of roses. This is the energy that I was trying to, hopefully I managed to get across, is an energy of the Knight of Cups. Is someone who is, he follows his heart. He is, he's Pisces Aquarius cusp, by the way. He's a little bit of a dreamer sometimes. He can be sometimes he can become emotional and unavailable. Sometimes he can become also a little bit pitiful of himself if things go wrong. He can also be a hopeless, he is a hopeless romantic anyways. But when he's hopeless romantic, he becomes easy to persuade, and he can actually hurt people. He can sell you pity stories. He can be, he can be a lot of things. But what I'm really sensing here is that this is you, Pisces. It's your heart, your emotional state. It's like and it is very much it's very much related to some kind of very strong connection that you have. But it could be karmic. It could be a karmic connection here. We're gonna dive into it. It could also be, for some of you it's a karmic connection. For others of you it's a loving connection with a Capricorn. Because I'm really... No, doesn't have to. The Knight of Cups crossed by the Three of Wands. For some of you it's difficult to get an idea going. Does that make sense? It's difficult to, you have in your mind here that you wanna make a choice. You wanna make a choice of how to balance out the forces of life. Remember, the Two of Pentacles is an energy of, first and foremost, is an energy of it is actually about balance, but it's about prioritizing. It's about being able to balance out all of these elements that are being thrown at us in life, because life is not static. You may complete one task, yeah, but you know what, then another task is being thrown at you. You have to prioritize all the time. Think of it as the supervisor energy, right? Having to build up speaks to Capricorn here. Imagine that you sit down and you have to plan out the day, and you have, I don't know how many tasks at hand, and you have to navigate them, and then possibly you have think of it like a flight controller, right? It's that kind of energy. That is the Two of Pentacles energy. Being able, you have a set plan of things that you have to, airplanes you have to navigate in and out, but there may come situations that you did not predict, and you cannot always predict the weather. You may think that you predicted it, but something can come up, all of those situations. That is the Two of Pentacles energy. Being able to balance out all these things, prioritizing properly without dropping anything. It's basically that energy you have here, trying to make things come together in your everyday life, and you may feel a little bit out of it. You are very much hoping that you are hoping that you can. Wow, two people here. The Page of Swords, the Queen of Swords. There may be someone here poking you, right? It could be you doing this to someone, Pisces. You are hoping to poke someone, or you're being poked out of your balance. Someone here is possibly some of you are trying to dim your curiosity. You could have a little bit of a scattered brain here. You were hoping that you can control this scattered brain, all these, you could have a lot of thoughts going on in your mind here, being confused, alright? You were hoping that you can be strategic here, be strategic, and also cut out this shit that you don't need in your life. Be it people, be it situations, right? Self-deceptive energy there. It could be people, it could also just be, it could be colleagues, it could be everything, right? You are possibly having too much information going on and it confuses you. You're trying, really hoping that you can go, not be a Page of Swords, but be a Queen of Swords. To cut it out. But at the same time not be scarred by whatever have happened in your past. In your past, recent past, you have the Knight of Wands. Something very passionate, alright? There are many people here. I'm definitely sensing a lot of people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, 5 people. We have fire, we have air, and we have water. What I'm a little bit is that you are in the middle as this water, right? But you're surrounded by fire and air. That's not your element. You do well with water and earth. Fire will make you possibly boil up or possibly dry out. And air will make you go into possibly a tornado. Too much air, so if you get too much air in with water, I mean, it flows everywhere. Too much water can really boil you. I mean, fire can boil you up, can make you warm and nice, but it can also, lead to a bloody volcano. And it can actually also dry you up. If you're interested in knowing how the elements work together. That's why you say water and earth are quite well together, because earth is dry. They need water to get a little bit more floating, and water does well with earth because they need to keep still sometimes. But those two too much earth can also create a tsunami. There can be an earthquake, tsunami goes crazy. And with too much, long story. Anywho, Pisces, in your recent past, let's just dive into it, see if I lost it. I kind of like when I do these readings when I just get lost in it all. It just flows with water energy. Knight of Wands here. What is this Knight of Wands about in your recent past? See, that's the thing. Could be a fire sign. Could be a fire sign. The Knight of Wands is Scorpio and Sagittarius. The King of Swords, the 5 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Alright, what I'm picking up here is there was something very passionate here. Movement. Could be a time for movement, even as that. Could be related to fire sign. Doesn't have to. Could just be as simple as you having some kind of idea, you want to move forward. It's just passion, alright? But what I'm sensing here is that energy that I already picked up on someone could, for me, possibly family. Coming in here is Capricorn, Aquarius energy. Coming in here, it's like King of Swords. Coming in here, possibly, could be yourself also. Or someone from your family. This could be yourself doing, could be your own mindset doing this, or you being advised by something. You're being advised by a mindset coming in from other people, be something that you internalized, that you should work, you should exist, you should act within the frames of traditional family values. Even though it possibly brought in some kind of sadness for you. There could also have been a loss in the family here. Not really picking up on it. Well, it could be for some of you, of course, it could be for everyone in these days, especially every day. But what I'm basically sensing here is that mental set of possibly shutting. We don't show emotions here. We don't show emotions in this family. We will focus on stability, how things look on the outside. Emotions, nah. And that's actually creating a little bit of a sadness and confusion here for you. You want to move forward for something, but it's like you're being pulled back. You have the High Priestess here underneath with the 6 of Swords, and well, for some of you, you actually left possibly a fire sign here. Doesn't have to be, but you... Someone could also have left a family here without telling it, without saying it, or leaving behind a stable connection. It's like, but what I'm basically telling you is like, it's something intuitive. It could be a person, could be your own intuition waking up, telling you it's time to leave behind these kind of self-destructive behaviors. Put it close to that and start following your energy here. And so in July we have this, well, your heart. And you following your dreams. This is going to be a long reading, I'm sorry. Yeah. I think I already covered what the present energy is here. It's about cutting out what doesn't need to be here. Because I'm feeling that your emotions are actually being suppressed. that dreamer inside you, Pisces. And it's possibly being suppressed because of financial fears as well. It's like I'm really sensing some of you could have had strict earth energy around you or just, I'm basing that sense of someone not being completely understanding of your sensitive nature. The camera's gonna go out, hold on. And we're back, yes. Now, let me quickly look a little bit into this Knight of Cups. I'm sorry, it's gonna be a long reading. Same thing for Scorpio. And other times I just don't pick up on, well, I pick up on the energies, but it's just very clear cut. I mean, the Capricorn reading, it's just clear cut, done. The Emperor, the Four of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. Right. I am basically seeing you may be, some of you have possibly left behind a very, very stable commitment or something that could have developed to that. It could have been marriage being put on hold. Some of you are terrified of being abandoned also. Right. Hold on. What I'm sensing here is the masculine energy taking over, right? It's the masculine energy taking over, telling you, especially with this Knight of Cups here, telling you to just shut down hard, don't feel anything. But in doing so, it could be a father energy that have taught you that, or just a very masculine energy that I'm sensing you picked up from some kind of familiar value, not being understood, telling you to never ever express emotions. Also, if you are broken-hearted, just don't show it. Just don't show it. Don't be emotional. Leave it out in the cold. And then just move on. It's like your higher self here is forcing you to take a step back and possibly connect with your feminine side. Some of you also have left behind a connection. For some of you, this has been triggered by a connection. They mostly are, which have been left or put on hold here. For some of you, there's definitely masculine energy here, suppressing pain, suppressing a broken heart. So, in your attitude, you have the Two of Cups and the Capricorn energy, the Devil energy. I'm picking very much up on karmic, especially with the first chakra here. I'm picking up on karmic ties being cleared out, and I just saw 222. Karmic ties here, karmic relationships that are not in harmony with yourself. You could have a focus on cutting those out, be they friendships, be they family relationships, be they in love, be they in everything. It's basically clearing out karma. Five of Swords, Seven of Cups, and the Queen of Swords, and the Ten of Swords, yes. And the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords, and oh my dear Lord, you are bringing some kind of a conflict here, Pisces. Look at all these terrible swords, and look at these cards. Look at these cards. What are you seeing here? What do you see? Five of Swords, Five of Wands, Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords. The only thing lacking is the Six of Swords, which is leaving behind conflict. These are all about staying in conflict, but we have the Queen of Swords. Right, so what are we saying? And then, thank Godly, we have this Nine of Pentacles underneath. So, Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. We have here self-destructive behaviors, possibly not being able to... If you're a little bit of a dreamer, be careful. Remember to make a choice, alright? Remember also to not become too scattered. And also, yes, that's also this situation with the Knight of Cups. Sometimes the Knight of Cups sees love where there is no love. So that's sometimes you can fall into karmic connections because that you get caught up in the illusion of that there may be love there. It is one of the things that you need to be aware of here, Pisces, is the ability of you yourself to not be scattered, not become confused, and not to just be sold a dream by someone, right? Not to be sold a dream and then suddenly they're selling you a dream that, oh, we're gonna have a future together, and then nothing comes towards you. or you just don't ever go anywhere, right? Be careful with those. It's time for you to also be able to balance, to learn from your lessons here, not to let them confuse you, but being able to cut away what doesn't serve you when it comes to you, especially if voices coming into your mind, people telling you who to be. I'm really sensing this. If you know Lenore, when we have the bird there, which is scatter, 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 scatter. I'm sensing that here. I'm sensing a lot of arguing here, possibly in regards to a connection here. People may not agree with you, or you could have an internal discussion with this, meaning if people don't always have to be people sitting in front of you. It could also be, especially when we have these mindsets that we grew up with, like institutionalized knowledge, or institutionalized truth. Let me tell you like that, where the truth of our father, the truth of our family become our truth. Yeah, sometimes, and sometimes we break that truth. For instance, especially if you grew up with a very stern father energy here that could have been very stoic, and you're a little bit more sensitive, then his truth is not your truth, vice versa. It's that idea of understanding each other, respecting differences is kind of needed. If you want Two of Cups, you need to be able to understand your differences. And the devil Capricorn energy here is also Capricorn energy. The devil energy is the ability to... Alright, let me tell you. The devil card stands with the Hierophant card, because both cards are about power. Hierophant card is about institutionalized forms of power. This is about personal power. That's why the Capricorn energy is something you need to master it. That's the lessons that Capricorns have. I can speak, I know this energy, alright, I know it. Whereas the Hangman and the Moon and the Hangman energy, that's Pisces energy. That's you will navigate that amazingly when you are in contact with your inner self, meaning that creative, intuitive, emotional side. When you block that, you get chaos. If I block, because I'm a Capricorn, if I block my Capricorn energy, I get toxic like shit. Alright, just to say like that. But the energy is basically about being able to take back your power, also, but in a healthy way. And by that, also by including cutting out toxic ties here. Look at this. Look at someone just holding someone here by the hand, keeping them stuck. That's karmic. That's karmic. That needs to be cut. And those can even be inside yourself. It can be those institutionalized truth, meaning the truth that you have adopted that may not be your truth. And they're keeping you stuck in this kind of a mental prison here, Pisces. Some of you may have difficulty letting go or saying bye because you're afraid of hurting people. Just want to point that out. If you have that, careful or look out for it. But you are really... You're gonna get here, okay? It's gonna be fine. I want to look into... But that is basically in your mindset here, is about possibly cutting out karmic ties. Taking back your own power. But it may bring in some kind of sadness, because you may have to disappoint a few people here. Taking back your power. In your immediate future, you have the High Priestess. What does the High Priestess tell us? She's, by the way, married to the Hierophant. Hierophant speaks also, well, their energies, right? The Hierophant is a lot of different things. Each energy has a potential shadow. Well, they have potential shadow and they have potential light side. So, I like the Hierophant energy. It speaks to me. The High Priestess is clarified by the Page of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles with the 9 of Swords, King of Wands. You get 8 of Swords popping up quite a lot. You also have it. No, that's a 10 of Swords. Awesome. The High Priestess is. She speaks, as I see, she speaks to love. She speaks to love. Could be a spiritual love. It could be as simple as this, meaning with these here. What I'm picking up on here is it could be someone coming into your life or being in your life. Could be some kind of guidance, someone that's very spiritual, kind of helping you, opening up your heart by looking. It's kind of inspiring you to address some kind of look towards the past, look at the past, look at something differently, right? Start working on yourself, start working possibly on your heart so that you open it up. It could be past disappointments. For some of you, it's as simple as that. It's like a healer. Now this could be someone inspiring you. It could be, doesn't have to be love. It could be colleague. It could be going online, finding, I mean, I had a High Priestess pop up for one of my readings when I just found a coach, a proper coach, for a coach that was spiritual. But it's with this underneath here, what I'm sensing is it may come with some kind of a little bit of a cleansing energy, also with the Devil here, meaning clearing out karmic ties. You could be learning about karma or the understanding of it, because we don't just throw away, throw out these karmic. Careful with that, alright? We are all karmics. We are all divines. But I'm basically sensing it being like an opening up of that wonderful side of you you may have been burying for a little while, Pisces. And what's going to happen here, it's going to come with the Ace of Swords with the 10 of Swords. So it's going to, timing here, let's look at the timing. It's going to come with possibly some kind of communication coming in. Or, would you look at that? Moon and Pisces. Moon and Neptune. Moon and Hangman, which is Neptune and Pisces energy. This is you, Pisces. I'm sensing it as being like an enlightenment, even though normally I would use the wands as the enlightenment. But it's like a truth. It's your truth. It's a clear understanding of your truth. And it comes when you take a little step back and start listening to your intuition. Possibly your heart waking up. So if you here in July have an experience, let me tell you how the shadow side works when you wake up. It's not fun. You can, if you have closed down your heart for a long time, it can literally feel as though you're having a heart attack. Start, if this may resonate with you, look into, start researching on spiritual awakening. If you're not already going through it, because it can feel a little bit, it's not always fun. You should be, I would say that Pisces are adept at navigating it better than other energies. If you allow yourself to be you. Ten of Swords here. 5 of Wands, Page of Wands, and the Judgment, and the King of Wands. He's been popping up quite a lot. I actually sense this being you, Pisces. Gender doesn't matter. Because part of these, especially because, listen, cups are water energy, that's feminine energy. Wands is masculine energy, right? It's fire and swords are masculine. Water, cups and earth pentacles, they are feminine energies. But actually what I'm basically sensing here is that I'm basically seeing you starting working on taking back your power here, possibly learning something new in collaboration, especially if you're being inspired by someone. Doesn't have to be that my lover. It can just, I'm sensing an inspiration coming in. Inspiration can also come from your own heart, can be your own soul. I'm not really picking up on that. I'm picking it up on some form of communication here. But it's your strength here is going to be your ability to walk away from pain and seeing the sunshine on the other side. Alright? It may bring in a little bit of a conflict here. There may be people around you that's not gonna understand what it is that you're doing, Pisces. There may be some voices here. There may be some voices around you having an opinion, let's just say that. But what I'm also sensing is that with the Judgment here, it's a card of, with the Page of Wands here and the Ace of Swords. I'm also seeing it as a spiritual voice. Someone here, something, inspiration, you will have to know where this is going to come from. It's going to inspire you to start working on yourself, leaving behind this. It's actually an awesome energy. And that is when you're going to start working on your intuition. You may be very, very intuitive, Pisces. Well, work on that heart. Work on your heart. In your most likely outcome, we have the Three of Cups. Now that's an awesome energy. I just want to point out that at no point do I see you going into seclusion. I don't see hermit mode here. I don't see hermit mode. I'm actually seeing action for some of you. It's the reason why I'm pointing that out is because when I normally pick up on these energies, it's quite normal to see people go into hermit mode. I'm not sensing that here. So the Three of Cups is clarified by Justice, Knight of Wands and the Four of Cups. And the King of Pentacles, Ten of Swords again. Okay, so give me a moment. Hold on, I just want to make sure I get the right message here. I'm getting a lot of communication and messages and action cards, right? There's a lot of cards. It's just a weird thing here. It's like it's a mixture of I'm sensing you taking yes for a moment, taking a brief moment here, going back. Just reject. Yes, that's energy I'm already picking up on, which would be is to reevaluate, right? Reevaluate, especially emotional attachments. You're gonna take a little step back here to cut out, that's what you're hoping, but you're just gonna reject, a little bit of rejection to go take action towards yourself for a moment here, to do the right thing towards yourself. But then what I'm sensing is that you are actually, either you're getting communication or you're giving out communication about doing the right thing. Hold on. This is an energy of being in it's so weird, Pisces. It's like it's as though this is gonna happen quite quickly. It's gonna happen quite quickly. It's like it's gonna inspire you to take action on something. What I see you in the potential outcome here is you being in a, look at this energy here. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's like you're gonna get, yes, this kind of enlightenment about the people that are good for you. And you're gonna reject people that are not good for you and just spend time with loved ones. That may not be like that many. It may not be like a big gathering of, I don't know, 50 closest to you. It may just be like 3, 4, 5 people. Just like that, we had this truck coming out here where all the youngsters are celebrating that they just graduated, getting drunk, but they're having a blast. I see you being surrounded by people who love you and that are right for you. And I see you taking action. You are taking action, or someone else is taking action. I have action card. It's this funny energy of it's a little bit of stagnancy and then a lot of action. I'm sensing it you being the one taking action. Now this action could be directed, it could, yes, I'm seeing it being, hold on, I just not getting it with this one, give me this. Star, yes, alright. Now I'm getting it. You're healing. You're healing and you're possibly searching or looking out for the people that are right for you too. You don't want to do this alone. You may start off to begin with and then you find out you don't want to do it alone, you want support. But what you do want, you do not want people where you feel as though you are not understood. Right? You're gonna cut that out. And you're gonna refine your strength and your belief in that there's that even if you may find yourself surrounded by, I want to say assholes, it's just people that don't understand you, right? Don't lose hope on this. Don't block your intuition. This is very much, don't block your intuition. Have faith that something is out there for you. This is the most potential. This is the potential outcome if you listen, if you grab this opportunity to work on this enlightenment, right? Then they're gonna come. They're gonna come when you have faith in it and you open your heart to it. Do we have an advice here? One last advice. What attitude should Pisces adopt? I'm sorry for the length here, Pisces. Look out for your weekly readings. They will be shorter. Just felt like you needed someone who understood you for a little while. The King of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles underneath. Right. The Throne of Knowledge. Have I not spoken of knowledge a lot? It is about you using whatever tools you have to dive into the truth about who you are and then cut out what doesn't serve you. He's also very strategic, yes, he's extremely strategic. And that with the Seven of Swords here, you are very strategic in allowing, in setting up the boundaries. But be careful not to shut off your heart here, right? Be careful to balance these out. Don't let your strategy be influenced by what other people say. That's why this came out in reverse. Don't let the strategy come out in reverse. Don't let your strategy be a strategy that you adopt from everyone else. Let it be your strategy. Okay? And that being said, take care, Pisces. See you next time. Look out for your weekly readings and check out the description box below for the free. Ciao.